Hello, Colourwerx peeps. Welcome in. Today is July 17th, and this is Linda and Carl behind the controls. Sullivan from Colourwerx Design House and Colourwerx Designs. And guess what today is? Today is... Yes, today is Fab Friday. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is episode number 8 of the fabulous Fab Friday, and it's so great to have everybody here today. We are kind of teaking it out here, so you can see we have tikis on the back wall, and behind me there is our Mix It Up pattern, so we like to mix it up a bit here in the design house. We're going to get right to our binding tutorial in just a minute, and I'm going to be using this fabulous quilt table runner that I made from our new pattern called Mod Box. But if you like these fabrics, this is Krista Quilts or Krista Watson, and so you might go over to KristaQuilts.com and check out all her beautiful fabrics. But we're going to get to this binding tutorial in just a minute. I think you'll actually absolutely love it. Please make sure that you like and share this video and check in, let us know if we're streaming okay. And also, we've had a lot of questions this week about whether or not you can rewatch our Fab Friday videos, and yes, you can. We always repost them, and you can rewatch them and share them with friends here on the Colourwerx Facebook page, and also on our Colourwerx Quilt-Along page, and also on our Colourwerx YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to the Colourwerx YouTube channel, then you'll get little notifications that we've actually put up a new video. So you can indeed rewatch all of these if you're busy at the moment and doing something else. So go ahead, check in, let us know everything is streaming okay wherever you are, and let's check in with the cactus cam. Yes, not much happening. It's pretty hot out there. It's 93 degrees last I checked right before we went on air. We're going up to a high of 109 today, but worse than that, we're actually going to be up at 114 throughout the weekend. And so more news on this later, but Carl and I are escaping this weekend out of Palm Desert. We're going to go on the Southern California Quilters Run, which I'll talk about near the end of the show and let you know some details on that. So let's see who's checking in before we move on. Pat, thank you. Hello, Pat. How are you? Hey, everybody in Pinehurst. We miss you guys an awful lot. And April. Hi, April from Mesa. Ooh, very close to, I think, some other good friends in Arizona. And Julie, our good friend, is checking in from near San Diego down there. Hello. And Nancy. Hello, Nancy from Eagle, Idaho. Wow. Thank you guys for checking in. And then we have a local Palm Desert resident, Jen. Our mid-century modern maven, Jen, is checking in. And
streaming is great.
And streaming is great. Thank you, Jen. That is great to know. Sometimes we can't check ourselves, or we do, and it looks different from where we are, so that's why we always ask you guys to check. So let's talk about the Colourwerx $10 gift card winner now. Last week's question was, what was your favorite workshop or class? And Carl is here to announce the winner. Congratulations, Marianne. So yes, we randomly put everybody's comments in the random thingamajig generator, and then we just have it select one of you guys for the winner. So Marianne is this week's winner of a $10 Colourwerx gift card, and we thank you guys so much. So you need to stay tuned until the end of the broadcast today, and we'll be asking this week's question for you guys to leave a comment in the comment section, and again, we'll pick a winner next week. So we always give away a $10 Colourwerx gift card each week to every winner, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. Oh, Connie. Hello, Connie. Checking in from North Carolina. Great. So I want to throw out some love to you guys before we get to the binding video, and show some customer quilts here from some of our previous quilt-alongs. You guys have been super busy, and you've been doing some super beautiful work. And so we've just in the middle of our Splendor quilt-along right now. We actually have 1 week left. And but some of you guys have jumped ahead, and that's perfectly okay because you've gotten excited and you've finished your projects, or you're doing a smaller version of the project. So we want to throw some love out to you. So if Carl's ready, we'll put up the first placard to show some customer quilts. This is, there you go. The one on the left is made by Jen, who's checking in, and also the one on the right is by Kitty. And these are our mini Splendor quilts, and the pattern is available in the Colourwerx shop. And it's these are both beautiful. These end up being 24 inches by 24 inches, so they make marvelous pillows or wall hangings. You can use all your scraps. And indeed, I want you guys to look at the top of this slide. You guys have your own hashtag because we love you. So anytime you see Colourwerx Customers Rock, that means we're throwing some love out to you guys, and you can feel free to use that hashtag as well. So that's Colourwerx Customers Rock, and those are 2 mini Splendor quilts made by Jen and Kitty in our current quilt along. And we'll move to the next slide. And this is Lori's beautiful big Splendor quilt that she just finished. I can't wait to see how the machine quilter deals with this or how she machine quilts it. It's beautifully bright and happy. It's the big Splendor quilt, and again, made by Lori in our current quilt along, which is over at the Colourwerx quilt along page. The quilt along that we did prior to Splendor was our Mod TV. So I have some customer quilts that I want to show on those. These are some fabulous things going on. We'll bring up the first one. This is by Kathy, and Kathy decided to walk down memory lane, so to speak, and give a tribute to one of her favorite TV shows, which was one of mine too, called remember the Monkees TV show? So she did her entire Mod TV, and she personalized each screen with kind of an inspirational photo or idea or memory from one of the shows. So if you see on the right, she digitized, embroidered the Monkees logo, and then down in the bottom there, she's got like a little bluebird, and that's for that song. Does everybody remember the Davy Jones song, Daydream Believer? That's what she did there. So that was kind of a little memory towards Davy Jones, and she used some beautiful black and white to do like a wavy, groovy screen. And if we go to the next one, there's some more inspiration that she used in her TV screen. So I love this on the left, where she took their costumes that they used to wear on stage and she personalized it into the TV screen there. And then the best one is on the right there by Kathy, where she used the quilt that they used to all sleep under as inspiration to make kind of a patchworked TV screen. So those are really, really fabulous. You guys are on fire. And guess what? Hashtag Colourwerx Customers Rock. Okay. So one more. Oh, sorry. One more, because I added this in this morning because Nedra just finished this. Sorry. This is Nedra's Mod TV. And this came out so super cute. She did this, I believe, for her daughter or daughter-in-law. And this is for their TV room. And of course, their favorite color looks like lavender and kind of periwinkle to me. But what I love what Nedra did is she personalized each one of the TV screens again. So that's their cute little dog, personalized with some photo fabric up there on the top left. And then she's got some more fussy cut little fabrics going on there. So yes, hashtag Colourwerx Customers Rock. You guys rock. So feel free to use that hashtag, and we're going to keep using that hashtag and throwing out love to you guys. One more announcement before we get to the binding tutorial is the Road to California has priority registration going on. This is the Road to California show going on in Ontario, of course, in January 2021 this is. So I'm hoping that everything goes well, we get rid of this COVID mess, and that this show is indeed going to go forward. So if Carl brings up that placard there, I am teaching 2 classes. I just want to keep letting you know this, that you can now do priority registration for either one of these classes. Bodacious Blooms Made Easy is on the Monday, and Strippin' and Stitchin' with Paintbox is on the Tuesday. Road to California is always held the week after or the week of Martin Luther King Day holiday, that Monday holiday. So it is coming in January. It'll be here before you know it. So let's see, anything else coming up on comments? No, we look good. So are you guys ready for this? Okay, so I need to give you a little intro. So the binding tutorial, this is my binding by machine tutorial, and I used a couple different people's techniques and I kind of combined them into one. I think you're gonna like this. And so we'll just roll the video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments right down there, and I'll try to answer them after the binding tutorial ends or when this video ends. So let's roll it, Carl. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you my quilting by machine technique. If you've ever done binding on a quilt before, it's pretty much business as usual until we get to the last few steps, and then I have a super secret ingredient that I'm going to show you. Cut your strips 2 1/4 inches wide by the width of the fabric. Cut the appropriate number of strips according to the pattern or needed to go around your quilt top. Connect the binding strips short end to short end using a diagonal seam. Use the markings on your sewing machine to help guide you with the diagonal seam or draw a diagonal line on the fabric. Once all the strips are connected, press the strip lengthwise, wrong sides together. Leaving an 18-inch tail unsewn, begin to stitch the binding to the edge of your quilt top using a 1/4 inch seam. To make the mitered corner, stop a 1/4 inch from the edge of your quilt top. Use the markings on your presser foot if needed. Turn the sandwich 90 degrees and backstitch off. Flip the binding strip straight upwards and then hold tight at the corner and bring it straight down onto the next edge of the quilt top. Hold tight or pin in place and then begin to stitch down the next edge using a 1/4 inch seam. Continue on, but once you turn the last corner, leave about an 18-inch unsewn tail. Take the quilt off the machine and overlap the 2 loose ends. On the top strip only, measure 2 1/4 inches over from the point that the 2 strips overlap and make a mark. Cut away the excess fabric from that mark. Unfold the top strip. Press and place right side up. Unfold the bottom strip, press, and place right side down on the other strip, matching up the top and right edges. Draw a diagonal line to stitch on, and pin the 2 strips in place. Once the seam is stitched, return to the ironing board and remove the pins. Cut away the excess fabric above the seam line, leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Unfold the strip and press the seam to one side. Refold the strip lengthwise and press. Match raw edges up to the edge of your quilt top and pin in place. Stitch along the edge to finish your binding. Next, take the quilt top to the ironing board and press the binding from the front side outward away from the quilt top. And here's my first secret, light Steam-A-Seam 2 1/4 inch fusible tape. Working from the back side of the quilt, grab the Steam-A-Seam 2 fusible tape 1/4 inch wide. Place the tape sticky side down on the edge of your quilt top within the seam line and the edge. Press with steam. Next, peel the paper off to expose the sticky substance on top. Fold the binding over just to cover your seam line and press in place. To make the mitered corner look on the back side, fuse the Steam-A-Seam tape in place. Remove the release paper on top and use a stiletto or scissors to force and fold the corner in place. My second secret is an edge stitch foot and clear thread. Thread your machine with the clear thread on top. Put the edge stitch foot on and choose a thread color that matches your binding fabric for the bobbin. Stitching from the front side of the quilt, bring the bobbin thread up to the top side to avoid any thread nests. Line up the center metal bar of the edge stitch foot directly on the seam between the quilt top and the binding. Stitch in the ditch directly on this seam all the way around your quilt top. The result is strong secured stitching on the backside that will withstand several washings, but mostly invisible stitching on the front. Okay, wasn't that pretty cool? So you guys have to know I have done that binding method now for about 4 years. And I actually have entered quilts with that binding method into national shows thinking, oh, I'm going to get like marked down. I'm going to get totally marked down because it's not done by hand, simply because I don't have time to do it by hand much anymore. And my hands actually really don't work that way anymore for doing binding because of how many quilts we do. And I have never received a markdown from a judge. So in fact, they have never said anything to me based on that binding method. So go ahead and give it a try. It takes a couple times just to get used to it. You do need a couple of big pointers. You do need to actually cut your strips at 2 1/4. That 2 1/4 seems to really work best when you actually do a 1/4 inch seam on the front, and then when you bring it to the back, and you just bring it to the back with the seam tape, or you can use any fusible tape, and you could also use a couple drops of glue, but I find the glue gets a little hard in the binding here and kind of crunchy when your needle's going through it, where the seam tape does not. And so you just bring it to the back, put it in place. A lot of people ask me why I don't pin it to the back or use wonder clips. Those actually shift and actually cause the binding to come off. So I have found through the years that by seaming it in place without any pins, it stays put and it works every time. And if you use the clear thread on the front, like I showed you, and then a matching bobbin thread to the back, you really don't see anything on the front, especially when the quilt gets washed. So I really hope you enjoyed that binding tutorial. Please share it with all your friends, and also let everybody know, and anybody who's watching this know, that this will be put up on our Colourwerx YouTube channel and also on our Colourwerx Facebook page and Quilt Along page. So let's check in and see. Kathy says, thank you. I struggle with binding and prefer to do machine. I do too. You know, these don't work as well anymore. And of course, we do a lot of quilts, and I also am a very impatient quilter. I like to, once I get a quilt done and quilted, I want to get it done and bound and out. And there's just, some people really enjoy the process of binding, and I have immense respect for that. I just don't. I'd rather just do it by machine and get it done. So it takes a couple test versions on smaller placemats and things like that, but once you try it, it works great and goes fast. We just had Julie come up. I couldn't see that. Great tips, Julie said. Oh, thank you, Carl. There we go. Oh, great. Thank you very much, Julie. That's great to know. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments section, and please like and share this video too, to share it with friends. Hi, Kimberly. Nice of you guys checking in again. So let me see where we're going next. We are going back to the cactus cam just quickly to see if any activity's happening out there in the tremendous heat. No, everybody is in, but our cactuses are looking great. That's called a hedgehog cactus, in case anybody wanted to know what's in that potted plant there on the wall. Okay, so for next week, before I give you the question for next week to enter in for the Colourwerx $10 gift card, again, I kind of teased this at the front. Carl and I are going to get out of town, out of the 114-degree weather, and go on what's known as the Southern California Quilters Run, which is happening in our neighborhood this weekend. There are 15 shops participating. I'll put the back there. You go to your shop, you get a passport, and then you go around to all the shops and, of course, shop hop. And so there is the address coming up on the bottom there. But if anybody is in Southern California and wants to go on this, please go check in at the quiltersrun.com and maybe check in with shops to make sure they're open during the weekend. And this also goes on next weekend as well, which brings me to what we're going to be doing for next week. Next week, we're going to show you our adventures from the Quilters Run. So we thought it would be fun, Carl and I, to kind of vlog, which means video blog, our adventures going around on the Quilters Run and show you the inside of each of these shops and kind of what we find at them and give them a little love. Because I think it's really important that we support all of our local shops at this time. and spread a little love around to them. So of course, we want to shop small, keep our local quilt shops going, and if you're in Southern California and you want to do the Quilters Run, then go to quiltersrun.com. So the question to put in a comment for this week is, what is your favorite shop? Who is your favorite shop? Go ahead and let us know. Spread the love around to our local quilt shops all around the country. Let us know who your favorite shop is or was or is there, so that we can advertise and let everybody know when they watch this video. And unless there is anything else going on, we're going to bug out of here now.
We're going to go on the road.
We're going to go on the road. We're going to thank you so much for checking in with us this morning. I want everybody to have a super happy, coloricious weekend. Happy quilting, everybody. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.